I was at a personal development retreat and we had an open mic night, and someone got up on stage and shared a poem talking about men, which was really funny. And I also looked down at my notebook that I had full of poems talking about what I think a real man should be, what I think a real man should look like. And I'm thankful I chose to get up and to share some of that with people. My name is Chris Vandeventer. I was born in Nanaimo, BC. When I was a little kid, my mom used to always call me Kissy Chrissy, and to this day, I'm still embarrassed about that. But it reminds me I used to show all the love and affection I had in my heart without worrying what other people would think of it. I have an older brother named Michael, and my mother's name is Petra, my dad's name is Ken. I like ice cream too much sometimes. I like laughing so hard I make the whole room stare and dancing like my demons can't catch me. My family life growing up was difficult at times. My older brother was either my best friend or my worst enemy. So I learned what brotherhood and friendship was through him. I also learned what bullying and disconnect was from him. I don't think my relationship with my brother was normal. And something I heard time and time again was that boys will be boys. But I struggled a lot with having a person that I loved a lot and having a person that I wanted to look up to and a person that I wanted to be close to. Also treat me in ways that I didn't deserve and beat me up and mock me and embarrass me. And maybe that's more normal than I want it to be. But I don't think that it's something that has to happen. In this life of mine, I found myself on a constant pursuit of happiness. I've got the words "you are enough" tattooed on my arm, but I still struggle to believe them. I watched my parents do their best to raise two kids. And I also watched them not know how to handle things many times. And that allows me to both have a lot of love and compassion for them, and to struggle with my own relationships and to struggle with working through my own conflicts. I let my eyes say the words that my lips can't shape. My humor is scary, but my hugs are safe. I've been told that I'm soft, that I feel too much with my heart, so I've tried to make my muscles hard and to feel with the strength in my grip. The more that I've opened up about who I actually am and what I actually want, the more my relationship with my brother has gotten better. So by telling him about the things that I feel vulnerable about, it's allowed him to be more and more compassionate towards me, and it's allowed us to be closer. And I can say now that he's a good friend and that he honestly feels like what I want a brother to feel like. I've caught a few fish in my lifetime. I was actually a commercial fisherman for 5 years. When I was growing up, fishing was the big connection between the men in my family, and I watched my brother and my dad and my uncle fish together all the time, and I actually really struggled to enjoy it as much as they did. My closet is full of salmon-colored shirts, but I don't really like to fish. Maybe that's because I didn't appreciate the patience of waiting all day just to catch a fish. But I also struggled with not knowing what I was doing, being the youngest one, not feeling like I fit in on these guys' trips. How many men don't receive flowers until their funeral? See, when I was 6 years old, I loved sports, but I wasn't very good at soccer because I was busy trying to not trample the dandelions on the field. It's as if I knew that as a man, beauty would be hard to hold on to. A study done in Britain found that 88% of men never receive flowers in their lifetime. But they haven't done a study like that in the US. No, that wouldn't be very manly of them. I think in my recollection, I was told by people that I wasn't an artist, that I wasn't a singer, that I wasn't a musician. I was shown that my brother was a musician. My brother was very artistic. I was told that I was smart, that I could be a doctor or a lawyer or something, but that I wasn't creative. I believe there are only a few people in this world who will ever come to know just how much I am capable of. And sometimes I worry I may not be one of those people. My friend says she doesn't like pancakes. I figured she just doesn't like pancakes at midnight. She says she likes the idea of them more than actually eating them. And I fear I might like the idea of who I could be more than who I'm actually becoming. I think I'm still learning and believing that I am creative to this day. I started writing poetry by accident when I was journaling, and it sounded cool. And somehow one day I got the confidence to share one of those poems with people, and they responded telling me that I was a poet. I listen to the voices in my head. They say, "You are not enough. You are worthless. You're a selfish user, an emotional abuser. You're crazy, you're a head case, you're a loser. You can't do this, you can't do that. You'll never be anybody. Stop it!" When I was 18, I didn't even know what the words mental health meant. I don't even know if I knew what suicidal ideation meant, but I felt hopeless in that I didn't feel like I was in control of my life. I knew I wasn't happy, but I had no idea how to change that. And so I would fantasize about ending my life. I put my happiness in a cage. I got stubborn and locked love away. And I understand that if I can start being okay with not being okay, then I won't need a different key. But what I don't understand is why it always seems like everyone else is happier than me. I let my breath become my burden while I play duck, duck, goose. I tell myself I'm an outsider and let my differences tie the noose. So I was 18, feeling hopeless and suicidal, but I didn't know what was going on. And somewhere, somehow, I heard that writing down your thoughts helps you take a more objective look at them. And so I started to write down my thoughts and my feelings and look down at them and realize how messed up it was. And that was when I realized that I wasn't living a life that I wanted to. And I also started realizing that, or started wondering, like, what of this can I change? I was at a personal development retreat, and we had an open mic night, and someone got up on stage and shared a poem talking about men, which was really funny. And I also looked down at my notebook that I had full of poems talking about what I think a real man should be, what I think a real man should look like. And I'm thankful I chose to get up and to share some of that with people.
But I want to get flowers. I want to watch them die and keep loving them. You see, I used to not want flowers because I couldn't trust myself to not let them crumble in my hand. I didn't want a heart because I couldn't trust myself to not break it. But I smiled the time I saw dead flowers in my best friend's bathroom. It reminds me that beauty will stay in something as long as you still love it. So I started picking up pieces of broken hearts and putting them in my pocket. I picked petals off of pretty flowers and preached they love me. They love me more. They love me. They love me still. I whisper at fallen leaves that I won't forget about a fresh start. I weave crowns out of stepped-on dandelions. I find luck in three-leaf clovers. I dig a hole in the ground and bury my best feelings to watch them grow. I dream of a girl with flowers in her hair. I do not worry if the flowers are dead or alive. I know she will keep loving them.
That might have been the first time I felt a real vulnerability hangover. So that night after performing, it was actually followed with a lot of shame and embarrassment. But I also felt light, like I'd gotten something off my chest, like I'd released a lot. And I didn't know what it meant at the time. I still didn't know I was a poet. But I had felt connected with people while performing. I think I've faced the opportunity or the desire to run away often in my life, and choosing to be present, whether that be with people that care about me when I'm struggling, or whether that be with people when they're struggling, or when I don't know the right things to say, or when there's nothing to say, when I've chosen to stay. I think that's meant a lot to the people who I care about. I used to have two stories. It was either that the world was against me, or that I was a fuck up. I couldn't do anything right. I was against myself. And I thought I was always battling with my mind, with my thoughts, with my demons. And now, I don't know if I cheer myself on as much as I could, but I realize that I'm not fighting anyone or anything.
I'm allowed to be broken, I insist. So today, I am broken. I do not need to be saved though, and still I will be the savior. I do not need a miracle, and when one shows up, I will praise it. I do not have a villain in my way, and when my mind conjures one up, and I need a hero, my heart will create it. For these voices don't actually belong to anyone. Every voice in my head is just a choice in my heart, reminding me I will be who I choose to become. It's easy to name our voices as someone else. It's easy to blame our choices on someone else. But I am broken from my choices. I will heal from my choices. And no, I will not do any of it alone.
So I started journaling when I was 18, 19, as a way to process my negative thoughts and feelings. And I think at the same time, I discovered spoken word poetry just on YouTube and the internet. And I didn't exactly know what it was, but I knew that it moved me a lot. I knew that I felt a lot of emotions while watching it. And then looking back at my own writing, every once in a while I'd be like, hey, that sounds kind of cool. I wonder if I could bring up emotions by speaking it, both in myself and for others. And I kept writing as a way to keep trying to understand the thoughts going on in my head.
I've got a semicolon tattooed on my side because my story isn't finished. Just like all the half-written suicide notes under my bedside table. The words "you are not enough" are tattooed all over those notes. It is a constant battle between I am and I am not. And sometimes I give in to all the negativity that I have fought. And those are the days that I can't get out of bed. Those are the days that I can't get out of my head. Those are the days that I wish that I were. I think the one specific moment when I realized that writing could really help me was the first time that I shared some very vulnerable writing with other people. And it wasn't until I got the feedback from people. I remember it was an Instagram post and I wrote up like a really honest caption about the mental health struggles I was going through, about how I had just been diagnosed with bipolar, and I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know how that was going to affect me, but I felt really lost. And I remember sitting in my bedroom in this old apartment that I lived in and writing up this post, and then posting it and it was really late at night. I was super scared. I was like, what did I just do? I shut my phone off, went to bed, like obviously struggled sleeping. But then when I finally got up in the morning and turned my phone back on, and my phone had a bunch of like positive messages from people and people thanking me for being vulnerable. That was the first time that it really sank in, that it was like, oh, by expressing myself, by writing this stuff, I'm helping myself. And yeah, it wasn't until other people kind of told me that I was able to realize that. Go broke and keep dancing. Sometimes we don't know the lyrics, sometimes we don't know the song, and those who were seen dancing were thought to be insane by those who could not hear the music. I've got a blue 1999 Chevy Astro van. I bought it 8 months ago, and his name is Happy. Kind of like Happy Camper, but also like no matter what goes wrong, he'll always be happy. And a lot has gone wrong, a lot has broken down, which reminds me that I have a lot in common with him. I often wear Hawaiian shirts as if sad people never wear flowers. I have so much self-doubt, but the people who have truly seen me, they say I have superpowers. They say that my laughter is contagious, that my life is super courageous. I've spent times in my life feeling so low that I've wanted to die, but those times have taught me to keep chasing the feeling of being truly alive. To me, being alive means connecting with people. It means being with them in their moments and letting them sit with me in mine. If I could change one thing about myself, it would probably be my ability to see my worth and to believe that I can find a role in this world, that I can find a way to take care of myself, that I can find a way to make enough money and be happy and be okay with that. Which I know is like mostly in my head. Like even as I'm saying it, I'm like, I don't know how much value I actually have. Like, I don't know how I fit in to our society. I don't know how I'm gonna make money doing something that I enjoy. I also think that one of my ears is higher on my head than the other, so I'd probably change that too.